Disclaimer: This is not actually Nicolas Cage, just an impersonator. All words said are not reflective of any true person. This channel is a result of two super fans of Nicolas Cage getting together to celebrate the best actor in the world.
Hey everyone, it's Rose here with Fantasy Nicolas Cage podcast. As you probably have realized, we're a week late. Apologize for that. I'm here with Nicolas Cage. And we're about to start an interview. Again, this is unedited and unscripted, so everything is live and on the fly.
Everything's just Nick. I want to apologize to you guys at home. It's my fault we're late. I was down in San Diego with Kal-El hitting up the old wild animal park.
Oh, wonderful. I've been there before.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's really big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
You know what I love about that?
What? Go ahead.
That it almost seems like we're in the cage.
Well, that's a little absurd, but that's what I like, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see the animals roaming free in their open space while we're in, there's a little tram that takes us through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, being a cage myself, I can appreciate that metaphor and all of it.
Yeah. So, how much fun did you and Kal-El have?
Well, we had a blast, and we went. Kal-El loves the lions. I had to literally peel him away from the lion exhibit after 37 minutes of spectating a sleeping giant cat. Then we headed over to my favorite exhibit, which actually is the elephants. And from there went to one place or another, and just had a great time. Wild Animal Park's great.
Wonderful. Why are the elephants your favorite?
Well, we share some qualities. We're both, we're bigger than life. I don't know if it's the shape of their eyes or if it's their mannerisms, but they seem to understand me. They look at me, and I know it hasn't been proven that they have telepathy, but when they look at me, I can tell they understand what I've been through in the process.
Oh, wow. I cannot imagine an elephant communicating with me. That's really special.
It is special. And I don't expect, you or really anyone at home except for special people to understand. We're elephants.
Oh, okay. I see you came with less clothes this time, like last time you said.
As I promised.
Right on.
It's pretty hot today anyway.
Yeah, it's 105 degrees today.
Ugh.
Do you like this weather?
I don't. I don't. No.
Yeah, you don't seem like the type.
No.
So, speaking of the zoo, do you have any zoo phobias?
Well, the first time I went to the zoo or the Wild Animal Park, there's this exhibit where there's this animal called the wild dog. And very frightening. Found out it's just in the name, actually, and why it's frightening. You hear the term wild dog and you want to run and hide somewhere, but it turns out they're just like...
Are they coyotes?
Excuse me?
Coyotes?
No, not like... You figure they would be like coyotes, but it looks like, the Humane Society or like some kind of animal shelter. There's just 12 mutts running around and they call them wild dogs. Apparently they're from Africa or something.
Oh, interesting.
You want to give them a milk bone. They're not very wild.
Oh, okay. Wow. I have to check those out next time I'm down there.
Yeah, if you have extra time, they're kind of boring.
Yeah.
Not very wild, as I said.
Okay. Any exhibits you avoid?
Well, the penguins make me feel like I'm underdressed, and then the meerkats, they're just alarming. They're so... Omnipotent seems like the perfect word, but it also seems like the wrong word. But I'm gonna stick with it. They seem so omnipotent as a people. They're always watching. They've got their signals. Their signals. They're calling. They're watching. It's hard to really get anything by them, and I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Understand.
I'm used to 2, maybe 3 cameras on me, not 7 or 8 meerkats.
Oh, wow. So are you used to people watching you and coming up to you when you're at the zoo?
Yeah, but I'm not used to them communicating as like oh, you mean at the zoo? Yeah, a few times people come up to like, oh, hey, you're Nicolas Cage, and I'm like, yeah, like, thank you for pointing that out, I just forgot, so people say the stupidest things.
Wow. But I'm sure a lot of them are just huge fans of you.
Well, there's a lot of cell phone. I see a lot of I see a lot of back of cell phones. People holding them up.
Kind of like you're an exhibit, right?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like an exhibit when I'm in social places like that. People line up to see me. Fortunately, it doesn't say like Wild Nick or anything like that.
Right.
But it's just Nicolas Cage, and there's no sign.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, we did.
Did you go to the what do you call it? The aquarium?
No. Fish belong on the plate, and that's where they belong. So.
Oh.
There were some fish at the Wild Animal Park, though. I think it was like the hippo exhibit, and there were these bright colored fish that just look like mustard flavored and ketchup flavored. And I like to use my imagination with things like that. I know, of course, they're not flavored like that, but can you imagine?
Right. Oh, so you kind of wanted to eat the animals?
Yeah, well, when the food's $12 for a hot dog, you start thinking about food. So.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so we're going to move on to a new segment that I'm excited to share. It's called What Would Nick Do?
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to give you a scenario.
I'm going to get in a lot of trouble with this one.
Maybe. And then I'm going to ask, what would Nick do? And then you will answer as, what would he do?
How long do you want the answers to be?
As long as you want. There's scenarios, so if you have a story, go ahead.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I have lots of stories.
Right. Okay, so you're late to the store and you can't find parking. What do you do?
Well, I don't always use my fame to my advantage, but late to the store, if there's some reason I need to be out of the store quickly, or, I'm at the Cracked Egg and there's no parking, and I'm like, some asshole's going to order the huevos rancheros before I get in. I'll park in the handicap spot. Sometimes I feel like my fame and my fortune is somewhat of a handicap, so I feel like it's allowed. And if any police officer, wants to talk to me and say, hey, you can't park there, I'll give him a signature or whatever, or an autograph. So.
Have you ever been scolded by them? Or by someone handicapped?
No one handicapped will come up to me. The police officers, they try to scold me sometimes, of course unsuccessfully. When you're an actor, you have a way with words. When you're an Academy Award-winning actor, you're statistically the best in the world with words. You get out of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Very.
Well, hopefully not many people who need that parking spot go wherever you're at.
Have you ever seen a place where all the handicap parking was taken?
No.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of just took your little point there and kind of buried it in the ground. So.
Yes, you did. So, speaking of the Cracked Egg.
Yes.
Second scenario.
Okay.
You're at the Cracked Egg.
Huevos rancheros.
Right. You're at the Cracked Egg.
Okay.
You sit down, and the waitress asks for your order, and you say, I will take the first huevos rancheros.
Right.
And she says, I'm sorry. Someone's already ordered the huevos rancheros, but we can get you another order of huevos rancheros.
One of two things, depending on how I feel, how my day's gone at that point. I'll either just get up without saying anything and walk out, or I'll get up, scan the room, kind of strut around to be an introspective, honest there. And I'll find that son of a bitch who ordered the huevos rancheros, and I'll steal him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll steal him right off of his plate. So.
Wow. That's a little aggressive.
It could be aggressive. It could be, but the difference between the first huevos rancheros and the second huevos rancheros is the difference between huevos rancheros and I don't know how you people say it, but it's like huevos regulares or whatever. You know, I'm gonna take those right off of his plate. He's gonna say, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh my God, it's Nicolas Cage," and I'll say, "Yeah, I'm taking your huevos rancheros. They're their first huevos rancheros. They're my huevos rancheros. Sorry, not sorry."
Wow.
And I'll eat them.
You'll probably get your way after that.
Yeah, you know, if anyone's there at the time I am, they're usually a regular. They know to avoid the huevos rancheros.
Okay.
At least, you know, they'll come in, "Oh, look, Nick's got his plate. I can order them now."
Okay.
Of course, they're not as good, but they don't know that.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Next scenario.
Well, that was it for the scenarios.
Okay,
We had
okay.
2.
Didn't get too much trouble there.
No. You did great. We're going to move on to the questions of the day,
Oh, yeah.
right? And these are by our listeners. So we're going to start off.
That's you guys.
Yes. So the first one is from Bobby Play.
Bobby Flay, like the chef.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just a fan of Bobby Flay. I'm a fan of yours too, Bobby.
Maybe. Okay. So, what's worse than crying babies on a plane?
That doesn't sound like a question that the regular Bobby Flay would ask. I'm gonna assume it's a fan of Bobby Flay. You're a fan of Bobby Flay and you're a fan of Nicolas Cage. You've got good taste. Just want to throw that out there. Your question. Crying baby on a plane. Now, I have to sympathize in that case because I've been a baby on a plane before too, and I know it's a frightening experience. Most of the time, what I'm going to do is just, you know, politely ask them to shut up.
Mm-hmm. Ask the baby?
Yeah. I mean, you have to just... It sounds weird. It sounds weird, but babies, they know respect. You have to show them respect, too. You ask them the question first, knowing, of course, they're not going to answer, or they'll just cry more because, you know, they're star-shocked. And then you ask the mom or the dad or whoever's with them, you know, please have your baby be quiet or, you know, shut up, whatever. And usually the baby will. I don't know if it's just because I'm Nicolas Cage and I've got, you know, power within my words, or if it's just people are never polite. You know, they're like, "Oh, there's a baby crying on a plane. I can't do anything about it." You can ask. So.
But the question was, what's worse than crying babies on a plane?
Oh, I'm sorry. Worse than crying babies on a terrorist would be worse. A crying terrorist would be like even worse than both of those things. Although if it's a crying terrorist, well, I guess terrorist is just the worst thing on a plane. Snakes on a plane, as we all know.
Okay.
Wild dogs on a plane. Can you imagine?
Right.
Where the milk bones now.
All right. Next question is from Anonymous.
Ah, this guy.
Yes. What is your favorite plate for the main course?
Favorite plate for the main course?
Favorite dish. I guess that's what they meant.
I was going to say probably a squarish white one. I am a fan of those. My favorite dish for a main course? It really depends. I know I'm very solid with my breakfast choices, but when it comes to dinner, I like a variety of food. I like Mexican food and other things. So, you know, wide variety. I'm okay with all of that.
Oh, all right. Okay. And our last question here. Okay, this is by Sarah, 25.
Is she 25 years old? Is that what that means? I never understood why people put
Well, it's because, you know, there's so many people named Sarah, so
Yeah.
that username is taken.
How does she know she's the 25th Sarah?
It's not that. They just pick a random number, honestly.
Oh, so it's like her favorite number?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
I've seen some people where they put, you know, it's understandable you put like, you know, Nick in 1964. That's cool. It's your, you know, that doesn't change. If I did Nick, like 47, it's like, cool, now I'm going to have to change my username next year when I turn 48. That kind of thing doesn't make any sense. Sarah, if you're listening, I hope that you didn't do it after your age and you realized your mistake at this point. And what was the question?
What's your favorite toothpaste?
Oh, that's an easy one, Colgate.
Colgate.
Mm-hmm. Gotta stay away from Crest and the other ones.
Why?
Well, I'll start with the short explanations first. I'm not poor, so I'm not going to get the store brand. My teeth aren't overly sensitive. You know, they can handle stuff, so I don't get the Sensodyne. And when I think of the word crest, I think of the the opposite of vestigial, formation on the back of a bird's head, or on the back of a dinosaur. Those are crests, or even the waves at the beach. I don't want any of those things in my mouth, and none of those things seem like they're going to clean my mouth. That's why I choose Colgate, because I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds cool, gate. But yeah, it just sounds like it does something.
Okay. Wow.
Crest
Put a lot of thought into that explanation.
That's actually very little thought, actually. It seems very obvious to me. It's like crest. When I read the word crest, sure, you can put green around it to make it seem like it's mint. I just see a bird's head in the tube. That's not that hard of imagination. Crest bird's head, Colgate. So it's like there. I'll choose Colgate every time.
Good. All right, so we're actually done with this interview.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Sorry again for being a week late, but we'll definitely be on track for next week. We might even do another one this week. We'll see if we can.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I kind of had to back some stuff up for that trip down to San Diego.
Okay. Yeah, wonderful. So thank you again for stopping by, Nick. It was great.
Always.
Always. All right, thank you, guys. Tune in next time. Bye. Hey everyone, it's Rose. Hope you enjoyed our third interview of the Nicolas Cage podcast. So once again, please send in any comments, questions, concerns, tips, anything to help us improve. That will be much appreciated. Send in your questions as well. Question of the day, and why not send in some what would Nick Cage do? Just type in scenario and write your scenario. And also, we have a new Twitter account at Fantasy Nick Cage, and Nick N-I-C, Fantasy Nick Cage. All right, thank you guys. See you soon. Bye.